Hey, I got a fellow deplorable, definitely irredeemable, standing right here with me in the studio. Mark Harder, welcome back to the Mark Cox Show.
Where's Mark Cox?
Well, sorry.
He was supposed to be here.
Oh, sorry, sucker. Yeah.
I guess he's getting his annual peel. Is that?
Yeah, he is. He's down in Florida having, I'm sure, whining and dining his beautiful wife on the mega millions he's making now being a big media mogul.
Yeah, at Motel 6.
Right? That's right.
Panama
that's right.
City.
That's right. So, Mark, how you been?
Good. Thank you for having me on your show today.
Absolutely. It's good to have you back. I know you're a big friend of the show. And let's just remind folks, what the heck is a county councilman and what do you do?
Well, county councilman is elected by the population of that district, and in St. Louis County we have 7 council districts. I represent District 7, which is roughly west of Highway 141 to the county line, and from the great city of Eureka up to Chesterfield, from south to north. So it's the largest of the 7 districts geographically, but the populations are all about the same.
So, Mark, speaking of elections, I know a big battle you engaged in this year. I think you were the only no vote. I think you're the only no vote on a lot of things. I really envy you because, well, either that or you really like abuse. Because I served in the Missouri legislature and I was in the majority and then the supermajority. You're in the county council, bravely fighting every day in the minority.
We're the head of the super minority.
Yeah, head of the super minority, and there was some brainiac in county government decided we're going to take the elections board, which is where we do all of our election business for the county, where we vote absentee if we want to go do that live and all that. It's right now pretty much, I don't know, I guess it's arguably in the center of the county. It's fairly centralized. It's 30 minutes from my house, but it's in Brentwood, basically, right? Brentwood area in the business park there. Maplewood, technically Maplewood. And we're now going to move it to North County. We're going to move it to southern Chicago, basically, right? Is that a done deal?
Oh, yeah, that's a done deal. It was a done deal before probably it came to the council. Unfortunately. And what we're talking about here is moving the election board after this election, not before, but after this election. They will move the election board to the former Northwest Plaza shopping center, which has been renovated. It's a beautiful renovation, but the space there is being renovated for both the election board and the employment board of St. Louis County.
So we're replacing what's one was private sector enterprise with government.
Basically.
Great.
And the build-out is being done by the developer and so on. But the legislation came before the council about 3 months ago that they were going to make this move. And the move is probably a good deal when you look at all the numbers, but we weren't privy to the numbers, which was frustrating. But when it finally came down to the legislation, it turned up in the Post-Dispatch that our county executive got a huge donation from the developer of the Northwest Plaza, and not one but many, that added up to over $170,000.
Yeah, and I'll give the Post credit. I twice a day a broken clock is right, and every so often the Post gets something right, and I give them credit for delving into what appeared to me, I'll say it, a pay-for-play scheme.
That's what it seemed to be, and once that came out, I couldn't vote for it, and I was a lone vote of the 7, and so I took some heat for it, but I guess I'm becoming the poster boy for Dr. No.
Or perhaps the conscience of the county, the conscience of the county executive. That's how do you like that? Yeah,
it could be.
Yeah,
but so it's a done deal. It's gonna go through. But this election will also be interesting because this will be the first year for poll books at all the election stations.
Okay, now what's that?
Well, poll books are like a laptop computer.
So this is everybody who's going to go vote. So if you're voting for Trump, or if you're just going to the polls to vote for Trump, or hopefully you're voting for Roy Blunt and everybody else down the ticket,
right?
Everybody's going to have to deal with poll books this year.
Poll books,
okay?
Right? And they tried them during the primary in August, and now there will be a full rollout to all 423 some odd polling locations in the area. So what this is like a laptop computer that has every registered voter in it per precinct. And so when you walk up, you show your ID, which is great. because it works off of the ID, and it automatically brings up who you are, what address you're supposed to vote at, and you sign the screen. And it's all electronic. You grab your ballot and you go vote.
Now, in the era of voter fraud, do you think this will do anything at all to improve the integrity of the electoral system? You think it won't matter? Is this administrative? What do you think about that?
I think it will be very effective in fighting voter fraud, because hopefully the voters of Missouri will vote for the ID coming in November.
Right, the photo ID on the November ballot.
So then there will be no excuse to use photo ID in the future. Right now it's voluntary, and because of the way our...
And let's be honest, most people when they're asked for an ID, what do they pull out? Their driver's license.
And on the back of the driver's license is the barcode, and that barcode is read on these poll books. So it automatically brings up your name. There's no confusion between Tim Jones and Bob Jones or whoever. So you can go right to the screen, sign in that you've voted or are going to vote, grab the ballot and go. And it is quite fast.
So speaking of elections, I know there's some big county elections, right? And we've got everything from Donald Trump to Roy Blunt to we got Eric Greitens versus Chris Koster, all the way down the line to all of our statewides. A lot of our state reps and senators are up. And any of us who live in St. Louis County, which is a big part of this listening audience, there's some huge county council races as well.
Right. There are 3 county council races in the 4th district, the 2nd district, and the 6th district, and those are all contested. We have Republican candidates against the incumbent Democrats in those.
Okay. So so the 6th district is where? South County?
6th district is South County, basically south of Watson down to the
a lot of contested races there. You got Representative Gloria Brown running for re-election. You got Randy Jotty trying to unseat an incumbent. You've got Trump is very popular in that part of our listening audience.
Correct.
And so Ernie Trachis, I understand, is trying to – now that's an open seat, right?
It's an open seat. Kevin O'Leary, who was put in by the Stanger administration back when, and he is not running for re-election, so it's an open seat. And so Ernie Trachis is the Republican candidate in that area, and he's an attorney, lives in the area. His wife was on school board down there, very much familiar with that area. And he's riding a wave of anger down there.
Yeah, because there was the housing development, right? Big issue in South County.
Yes, there was a housing development that is working its way for the second time through planning and development that was slated to be built at Telegraph and Bauer Road. And there's a lot of people down there upset because they didn't like the way it was handled. They feel like their voices weren't being heard by their current county councilor. And so Ernie Trachis has jumped into that role and has been representing those people in that area.
And I understand he's got a pretty good shot. That's a good shot for a pickup there.
It's a very good pickup spot. It's a 50-50 at mostly a district. Our friend Rick Stream carried that by about a 60-40 margin 2 years ago when he ran for county executive. So it is very winnable for Republicans, and we got to get everybody in that area out to vote.
Hey, up in North County, good friend of mine, Curtis Faulkner, is running as a black Republican. I've known Curtis a long time. Used to visit me in Jeff City, work on a lot of issues up there. I know he's pounding the pavement hard. And again, a surprise that this is an open seat, but an incumbent was unseated in the primary. And so we have a black Democrat running against a black Republican. And I think Curtis has got just as good of a shot to win that as well.
Oh, I think so. I think that's a definitely doable spot. We've got to get people out to vote up there. Curtis is a former school board member for Hazelwood School District. And he's very well known up there in that area. And that was the seat that was originally or is currently being held by Mike O'Mara, who has held that seat for 16 years as a Democrat. His father held that seat before him, and he lost in the primary. And it was a very big upset and a
huge
big surprise.
Upset. And so an opportunity there for a pickup as well with Curtis Faulkner.
I think that could be a pickup as well.
Last but not least, Amy Polker, right?
Correct.
Amy Polker is running. Is that like in the Mid-County area?
Yeah, it's like Northwest County. It's Maryland Heights, Bridgeton, part of St. Anne, Overland, that area. Mm-hmm. And she's running against an incumbent, Councilman Sam Page. And so she's working very hard. She's hitting the doors up there, and she's currently an alderwoman in the city of St. Anne. and she knows the area very well. She knows the politics of that area, and she knows roughly the same government functions that we do on a county level.
Great. So, folks, these are huge races. They're very important to our county governance, and this could change the face of county government if all these folks Mark just talked about were to win. Mark, I don't want to finish necessarily on a somber note, but on an important note, and that's something that affects all of us, everybody who's listening to the show right now, and that's our brave men and women in blue. And you and I are very proud of our relationship with the police and the fire all across the county. I started off as an alderman in Eureka. I always give a shout out to my police chief, Mike Wiegand, and my fire chief, Craig Brown. And I know and so we could sit here all day and talk about all the wonderful county officers we know, many of whom live in my neighborhood and your neighborhood. Had a horrible tragedy a couple of weeks ago, and you were at the funeral for the officer who was brought down in line of duty.
Yeah, that was Officer Snyder. That was last week. I'm sure most of the listeners know about that. It was a very touching and gut-wrenching funeral and a visitation, but at the same time, I think some positive things will come out of this. There was so much support from the community. The funeral itself was huge, or as we say, huge, and there was police from all over the state, all over the country for that matter, that came in support.
I saw the procession. It went right by my office in Clayton, right by First Rule, and it went on for like a half an hour.
Oh, yeah. From what I heard, the last cars were leaving Chesterfield, and the first cars were crossing over into Illinois.
Amazing
it was
turnout.
A huge turnout for him, and it's great that our county executive has decided through an executive order to rename a park in South County called Clydesdale Park, and it will be named Officer Snyder Park.
That's wonderful news.
In the near future. So it's a great honor for him and for his family, and a place where his family can go and remember their fallen father and husband.
Hey, Mark, the FM News Talk 97.1 listening family is very supportive of our police and our fire and all these brave men and women who put their lives on the lines for us every single day, public service, selflessly. Do you have any information on how folks can help out Officer Snyder's family? I know he had a beautiful wife. He has a beautiful wife and young children. And do you know where we could direct them to a website or something?
Well, probably Backstoppers is
That's
the
right.
greatest charity
Yes.
for them. And
That's probably the best thing.
They do
Yes.
great work throughout the area, not just through county police, but all the municipalities in the region. That would be a great place to send a donation. I'm sure there'll be pop-up type of benefits along the way, and I would encourage everybody to support those as well.
I think you're right. I think Backstoppers was going to make a very big lift on this one, given the circumstances. So, folks, Backstoppers.com is a great place to start to help support this brave young man who gave his life defending our law, the things we talk about all the time, our laws, our freedoms, a civil society. And it's times like this where we pause, Mark, don't we? And we refocus on what really matters.
Right. And I can't say enough about Backstoppers, and they will support them in the future as they have other fallen officers, and they do a great job, and they will take care of this family.
Hey, I've got to, it always goes too quickly. We got to roll here, but how do folks get a hold of you, get on your mailing list, contact you? I would like them to send all their complaints to you, like lots of complaints to Mark Harder. That'd be great.
Sure. We have a special phone number for complaints.
It rings to nowhere.
Yes. It goes to the 9th floor.
That's
of
right.
County government. You can call my office, and the direct line is 314-615-5443, or you can just call the general number for St. Louis County government, which is 314-615-5000, and ask for my office either way.
Fantastic.
And I'd be happy to talk with you, and we'd love to get together with anybody and everybody. You don't have to live in the 7th District.
Here, you're willing to help them all, and so
That's right.
I'll be calling you incessantly now as soon as I get off the air.
Sure.
County Councilman Mark Harder, thanks for joining us here on the Mark Cox Show, Mark, and we'll have you on again, I'm sure. Tim Jones